Hi, I'm Rachel Duncan. I'm a certified financial therapist and art therapist, and I founded the Money Healing Club. And I'm here to give you my top 5 ways to spend less just in your personal spending. So, tip one is sort of the overarching approach that I have, which is every no needs a yes. And the really important mindset shift is spending less is really about where you're putting your attention. Whenever we start getting into budgets or restriction, there's so many parts of us that will just fight that. But if we can frame spending less as that you're still going towards something, then it tends to have better results that last. So, your first tip is to do a little journaling. What will you get from spending less? It can be both a felt sense, like I'll feel more secure, I'll feel safe, I'll feel like an adult, to practical stuff like I'll be able to afford that vacation or our new home or a larger financial goal that would really help your life. So I want you to think about both those things, how it will feel to spend less. I'll feel more in control. I know I'll see more money in my account. To some very practical stuff about what spending less could do. I'll add a lot of my clients really have a lot of shame about how much they spend. So part of this might be I will have a different narrative about myself and that that's important. I can be someone who can be trusted. I am someone who trusts myself with spending decisions. My second tip is to change your environment because willpower alone is a really finite resource that doesn't really work. So think to yourself, what are your triggers for impulse spending? Everyone's different. Depends on what categories you're impulse spending in. You're not impulse spending everything, right? It's usually certain categories. Maybe it's getting takeout or clothing or cosmetics or sporting equipment. We all have our things. So think about what are your spending trigger categories and then how you could shift your environment so you're just not triggered as much. So a big one is removing shopping apps from your phone. Just remove them entirely and unsubscribe from marketing emails as much as possible. That's on the digital side. When it comes to food, finding that bringing in more delicious frozen dinners, Trader Joe's really seems to hit the mark in terms of replacing takeout. So load up on the frozen dinners at TJ. Just think about where else can you reduce the reminders that things are on sale, reminders of special promotions. Those are all scarcity tactics that sometimes cause us to cross our own boundaries. So let's just see where we can remove them completely. So do a good audit of your apps and your emails and your food so that you're less enticed to impulse spend, if that's your goal. My third tip is to plan for an impulse, which is sort of like an oxymoron, but we still want to feel like we can treat ourselves. So I love gift cards. Buying a gift card for yourself. Let's say it's a new month. You just got your paycheck and you buy a gift card to your impulse spend of choice. Maybe it's a makeup place or an online retailer or a favorite boutique, something like that. Buy it ahead of time. The money has left your account, it's kind of already spent, and you get to treat yourself and really look forward to it. Maybe put it on the calendar, or you know that if you have a stressful week at work, you have prepaid for DoorDash for that week. Think about one thing this month or this pay period you'd like to treat yourself for and plan for it so it's not such a surprise. So I'm a big fan of buying yourself a gift card. My fourth tip is pick up some books on the topic. There are some excellent books, and I have some recommendations. The first is Know New Things by Ashley Piper. I actually don't have the book in physical form because it's free on Spotify. If you subscribe to Spotify, the audiobook is actually there. I love Know New Things. I just read it in the fall. It really is about how when we reduce our consumption, we get 3 different benefits. 1, we do spend less, like we have more money. 2, we reduce the clutter in our homes. And 3, we feel like we're a more active member of society environmentally. Reducing our consumption is a big part of environmentalism. So Ashley Piper kind of talks about her story. She comes by it really honestly and then has a 28-day plan with different aspects of buying less. And I really love it. The other books are by Jen Smith and Jill Sirianni. They have a podcast called The Frugal Friends. Actually, that's another recommendation. Just listen to the podcast, Frugal Friends. This new book, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke. This is awesome. Very much in line with the philosophy I'm telling you about going towards things. And the other one, if you're more like, I kind of need to be all or nothing, that's totally fine. They also have a no spend challenge guide. It's a nice little book, just like if you were to set a goal for this month, no new clothes or no new concert tickets or whatever it is you'd like to reduce your spending with. This is a really nice support for that. Hey, even suggest it at your next book club. My last, fifth, most radical tip is to pause before your next impulse spend and make a doodle of the thing. You do not have to be good at art to do this. I literally just pulled up a sticky note and a ballpoint pen, no special skills. And I'm thinking about buying new sandals for this summer. And so I made a doodle of it. Hope you can see here. There we go. What this does, first off, it slows me down. I'm not making the purchase yet. The little hack here is part of your brain thinks you have it because you've just manifested it. So the thrill of the impulse tends to dissipate. And then you can just evaluate it with the different parts of your brain that come online after that dopamine rush has gone. So I do this with my clients a lot, is like to look at what's in their shopping cart or what are they kind of obsessing over, make a doodle of it, and almost you can track the dopamine rise and fall. So for example, when I look at this image of the sandals, I'm like, they do seem clunky. Is that going to be too clunky for me? See, I can like think through, is it right now? You know, we're in springtime, so it's not really a discount time to buy these sandals. And I'm just sort of slowing down. I'm thinking about, God, what color would I want? I probably want a dark color. And then I'm thinking about also, what else do I already have? You know, I haven't cleared out my closet for a while. Do I have a pair of sandals I have literally forgotten about? So it doesn't mean I necessarily won't buy these, but when I do, if I do, I'm going to make a more considered choice. I've had clients do this exercise and realize, oh my God, I already have 3 red sweaters. So it can just slow down that impulse. It's one of my favorite tools. So those are my 5 tips for spending less. If that is part of your goal and you can share with your clients, you can find me everywhere at Money Healing Club on the socials and moneyhealingclub.com on my website. I have a free email course on spending mindfully that has several of these tips in it. You'll find that when you go to the website. Thanks so much for inviting me to be part of this collaboration, and I will see you in the money sphere.